Respect. Tim's ET, he's got a very much contest the lane kind of a build with the Stout Shield especially picked up. Sam H, Night Stalker, Armel Dragon Knight, and just picking up the wand early on. And what do we got? Cuckoo, Witch Doctor, Raven on his pinky purpley Terrorblade. Alright, let's have a quick look at some early wards. I'm half trying to drink a cup of tea here. Also, I gotta make sure that the stream is appropriately delayed. Let's have a quick... Yeah, okay, the stream is definitely appropriately delayed. That's good. That's good news. Apparently it was not properly delayed for the first game, and I got a little bit of a telling off by the admins, but... Oh well, we're all set now. Oh, damage running forward. Alright, Spot's Pie. Need to be careful. Spirit comes out. Both teams with some vision around here. Who actually got this ward down a little bit earlier? So this ward was here first. The TNC might actually know that this dire obs is over here. As far as the other observers, 504 versus 510, but I don't think either one would have seen the other one. And TNC actually going to get away with 3 bounty runes. Sam H able to grab the one over here. Universe instead opting to just try and go and steal the wave. They'll scale up the Firestorm at level 1, so taking a little bit of additional harassment here from the Cuckoo Witch Doctor, but it doesn't look like he's going to go down. Just kind of trading his salve here for this first wave. Still getting chased though. How fast is he? 286 versus 307, so Cuckoo will be able to stay on top of him and kind of force him all the way underneath the tower. This is so important to do as the position 5 when the enemy offlaner is trying to steal the wave. Don't let them put the wave position right here. Force them to go under the tower and make life a little bit more difficult that way. Sam H already putting some harassment down on DJ. Envy can't really do too much, just a level 1 Morphling. We managed to get that range creep deny though. And Universe still managing to reset the lane position somewhat. Raven dragging it back behind his tier 1, so we'll see the position that it ends up in after this. Universe now at least has the Atrophy Aura, so able to lane a little bit better. Mid lane, Armel doing well to begin with, but Abed should start to pick it up. Once he starts getting more points up, keep the Whirling Death spam going. And eventually, once you get enough points in reactive, you just don't really care about anything. Just run at the tower. We'll have to be careful of TNC rotating over. I think they've got enough to be able to kill him. Oh, Universe in the trees. Raven still has not popped the first Metamorphosis. Keeping the lane back. Well, I mean, they're getting forced back because of the Firestorm. DJ actually in a little bit of trouble. Pops down the Brambles, getting punched up by Tims. He's going to try and stack this, it looks like. Sam H still only level 1. And Tim's just going to grab some bouncy runes on his way out. Everybody's still level 1 except for Eternal Envy. Universe has avoided a lot of harassment by hiding in these trees. He's just going to mango TP out as soon as that paralyzing cast gets used. Does not want to stick around near that Raven Terrorblade. Quite a lot of farm across the board. The offlaner is not really getting a huge amount. Actually, Night Stalker only has 1 CS, which is not bode well. A big part of that is the fact that Fnatic do have their full tri-lane up here. So Dragon Knight at least knows that he's not going to be coming under too much fire at mid. And Armel's still CSing really nicely. 19 and 2 on the Dragon Knight. The only annoying thing about this matchup is that the Timber isn't really ever going to let you go and hit his tower. I wonder if this matchup has actually shifted a little bit since some of the attribute changes. Like, it is, the Whirling Death is magical, so that little bit of extra magic resist might actually help the Dragon Knight quite a bit in this lane. You can see get the successful side pull off, so the reward for Sam H is going to be a couple more last hits, hopefully. Alright, 1 for 1. 2 for 2. Sam H, I believe it. No! No, Sam H. I believed in him, and he let me down. Oh well. 2 CS for him at the very least. Does he have a Quelling Blade? No, he doesn't. We'll use that as the excuse. Universe has just been stacking up some camps over here in the interim. not really in too much danger since he's constantly seeing Tims up top. So the Underlord looking like he's going to have pretty free game. Does he get the stack? Niet. Just goes to show you guys, the pro players, they make little mistakes as well, but they definitely make less mistakes than you do. Fnatic still keeping this ward vision down here. They are really protecting Envy in the early game, though that's mostly because the other two lanes don't really need too much help to prosper. Raven is behind the tier 1 tower here with his Aquila turned on. They're trying to pressure onto Universe. Don't know what they can really do. Just keeping him out of the experience range. Preventing him from getting the EXP from those two range groups is a pretty big deal. And this mid-game window is going to have to be what Fnatic are careful about. But they've got so much deep push this game. They've got the Chakram, they've got the Firestorm, they've got the Lightning Storm. Invis Cuckoo Witch Doctor up here. They're going to go for Pylai. Can they also look towards Envy? He's not actually that tanky. He waveforms away. Pi, one more touch to finish him. That's your first blood. Curse Crown catches on 2. And Fnatic will be able to back off with the rest of the lineup. But Cuckoo making a very long rotation there. Worth it, however, for the first blood. Raven popping the Metamorphosis at bottom, but Universe knowing that the Witch Doctor is top. Not going to be too afraid to step up here in the lane. Is getting a lot of the CS denied, though. TP over to mid by Pi, pops down the ward. They spot Cuckoo, stun him up. Abed might be able to come over and finish him. I don't even know if they need that. Cuckoo actually gets the double tango. He's healing up a little bit. Armel chasing after him. Pylai, now the one potentially in some trouble, as actually Tims is coming through. Pi going to turn around for the stun. Just going to be the position 5 for position 5 trade. Abed absolutely full HP. Yeah, neither of these heroes. This is some super half-hearted harassment. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm supposed to hit you, so I'll hit you. And you're supposed to hit me, so yeah, come on, alright. And then both of them go back to regenning up with their stupid passes. But mid lane still going fine for Armel. 42-4 against the 30-0 Timbersaw. He's starting to get worked down a little bit, but has those 1 charges. Samh going to take a Curse Crown, but there isn't really any damage here just yet. Pylai. They know that he just TP'd mid, so he died. Oh, Armel just going to get bursted. Doesn't even get the 1 charges off. I don't know if he was trying to bait with the wand, didn't realize that Pi was going to come in with that Lightning Storm, but that is a pretty hefty death to give away. If he'd popped the wand, he would have sped up in the Chakram, right? The slow is based on every 5% of your health missing. So he could have actually gotten a little bit further away from Abed, but... Just as I was praising him, there you go, Armel getting bursted down. And they're now rotating down bottom, hunting for the TB. Pai's gonna get scouted. Abed about to reveal his presence in the lane as well, so it looks like this is not gonna yield anything too successful, and Armel is gonna come threaten this tower. He's got the dragon form up in 10 seconds as well. But they're actually gonna give this lane over to Universe for a second, so it looks like Fnatic wanting to match up their Timbersaw against the Terrorblade, though I don't know how much they can really shut down Raven's farm. He's just going to retreat over into the jungle. Envy's been spotted out. He's only got 2 points up in the morph. He does have the waveform to get a little bit further away, so it looks like he should be all right. The stomp is going to catch him, though. He's still closing the gap, but Envy's going to be fine. And now it's Fnatic's turn to try and look for a turnaround. Pylai is coming over, but they've actually got Raven rotating onto Universe at mid. They don't even need the Dragon Tail for that. Raven just popped out of the trees. He's got an illusion rune that he found in the river. And this is now going to be an easy tier 1. They were hoping to leave the Underlord there to hold onto the tier 1 tower for a little bit longer. DJ's actually ticking down to the Maledict. And he's dead. TNC playing over on the dire side of the map, but making it work. Raven ticking down, but he's got that Sunder ready. And looks like he's just going to play it safe. Oh, they smoke him. Still has some Metamorphosis. He's got an Invis rune. Okay. Is he just going to Sunder Pi and then hit him twice and he dies? Pi, don't take too much damage. This is Raven's health that we're talking about here. Alright, there's a Sunder. Straight into the stun. Straight into 2 auto attacks. Straight into the kill. DJ's going to look for some kind of a turnaround, but he's only level 4, so I don't think he kills Cuckoo here. And I think even with a slightly worse ganking support duo than they had in the previous game, TNC is still on the board with 5 kills already. They do end up losing the bottom tier 1 tower. Abed sitting down here and just pressuring. 4 points in the reactive armor. Pretty difficult to shove him out of the lane, so he does open up the map a little bit to start farming down here. And Fnatic have already come over and popped down this observer ward a little bit earlier, so They've really opened up this whole section of the map for Abed. I don't know why my minimap drawing is broken. This bug has been here for years, but anywho. Fnatic gonna smoke the 2 supports around. Hunting for something. They know that the Dragon Knight is up top, so at best they are looking for the Terrorblade, but Raven is actually taking the slightly safer Tri-Camp farm, so he will dodge this Fnatic gank this time around. Envy only level 5 on the Morphling, still quite a ways away from the Lincoln Sphere. Decent CS, but a little bit behind in terms of the net worth. Tims wanted to try and defend this mid tower. First Crown's gonna catch him. Envy with the waveform forward. Tims doesn't look like he has any way out of this. No chance to get the Echo Stomp off, but TNC will end up taking out this tier 1 tower in the meantime. Raven's gonna have another Metamorphosis in 30 seconds, so they might even be able to look for another objective shortly after that. So the spam is starting to get there for Fnatic. They're gonna have the max rank Firestorm soon. Abed still pushing out bottom. Sam H in a little bit of trouble. Got some bottle sips, trying to get that salve out of his backpack. He's fumbling. Just gonna pop the darkness. They've got the silence. Abed with 20 stacks of reactive armor, very difficult to deal with. MH does pop that salve to be able to keep on fighting, and Piladai is coming down to help out Abed, as is Universe and DJ. 4-man rotation from Fnatic as Armel still threatening this top tier 2 tower. And they will finally manage to get the Timber off of their tower. But, oh god, DD Terrorblade. Raven, that Illusion Rin smiled on him before, and now he's got the double damage along with the Metamorphosis off cooldown. If they get the successful backstab on Fnatic, this could be an absolute disaster for them. They don't know where they are just yet. This is a blind hill to be going up. The smoke breaks. They run straight to Universe. They're going to stun him. He makes it up onto the high ground. Can he get a couple of misses? That's not going to help him. Raven finds the killing spree already. Armel's over here. Piladai getting run at. He does have a TP scroll. Abed trying to escape on the other side. Pi going to get stomped, and he will be brought down. Just the 2 kills for TNC as they do rotate all 5. But still nice to take out the Underlord once again. Abed is quite farmed on his Timber, and at least Envy is finding some time. This seems to be the strat of the day for Fnatic. Just make sure that they're giving Envy a pretty hard farmer, try and create some space for him. They weren't successful in that endeavor in the first game, but I think they will be a little bit more successful this time around. Once we hit the mid game, the Underlord is going to tank up and just be able to run down lanes, constantly spamming Firestorm, Dark Rifting out. Abed training away. Still daytime for a little bit. They're looking for this kill. They get the silence. He's just going to go for the TP out. Sam H already using the Void. Nothing left to cancel. So there you go. Little sample of, I think, what is going to end up happening further through the mid game. TNC have to find kills. You pick that Stalker offline, you got to get kills. This hero does not farm. He doesn't farm, and he's not really that good with farm either. So this next nighttime going to be extremely important for Sam H. He's going to start it out with a couple of bounty runes, but let's need to move with the supports to find pickoffs so that they can keep on going. Abed looks for the Chakram. Sam H just flies up onto the high ground. Is getting locked down though. Abed with the Chakram soon. Universe with the pit. Sam H runs straight into some more brambles, and DJ finishes him off. That is not a good start to this night. Highlight looking at Cuckoo, pump faking the stun, pump faking the stun. They need to be careful about how they split up this cast. Nice done by Abed, dodging back a little bit. Armel pops the dragon form. What can he actually find? He's looking towards Piladai. Looks like he will end up dying to the Maledict, and he knows it. He's just running forward, hoping to get off another lightning storm. DJ with the Curse Crown. Abed still got enough mana, I think, to keep on chasing. Soul Ring coming up cooldown soon. Tims is here, looking to turn this around. The stomp not going to land. Abed just managing to sidestep it. Eternal Envy morphing into the Dragon Knight, but nothing more that he can do other than throw out the Breeze Fire. Sam H arriving. And they actually chase down Envy. Sitting inside the DK form, morphing back and forth. He is silenced a little bit. Needs to be careful. Is the stomp going to connect on him? It does, but he's up on the high ground. TNC looking like they won't be able to chase too much further. And that is just some rotations being forced while Universe is farming. They are starting to stabilize this net worth, and you can see that it's already starting to head back over on the Fnatic's side. You can see these night times are so important for them. Universe does have his Dominator now. The other thing to keep in mind is both teams have pretty decent Roshan potential. Well, we'll probably get a medallion somewhere on the TNC side to help them out with it. Raven is just going for SNY straight BKB. They know that they have to hit a timing and they have to end the game pretty quick smart, otherwise they're just never going to be able to high ground against the Timbersaw and the Underlord. Well, I've been trying for the TP out, but gets Dragon Tailed and looks like he is going to end up falling here. think he does already have his... Does he already have his Bloodstone finished on the courier? No. But, down he goes. That is a pretty important part of their defense gone. And TNC already well in position for this tier 2. Can Fnatic find an objective in the meantime? Envy just wants to come over here and farm in the Radiant jungle, but TNC already have a ward down here. Pretty obvious that somebody on Fnatic is going to be playing in this area after they take out this tier 1. Like, the tier 1 top is still here. The tier 1 mid is still here. So if Fnatic are getting pressured out of their own jungle, the obvious place that one of their 3 cores is going to go is straight down here to bottom lane, which is where this ward might be helpful a little bit later on. DJ with an Invis rune. But yeah, I don't know. Once we get to a certain point, I don't know how you ever high ground against the Firestorm plus Chakram. You can see, gotta keep up this pace. Oh. Alright. Sentry ward gets given away a little bit there. DJ just managing to outrange it as he gets Dragon Tailed. Death ward is on cooldown anyway. So I don't know if they would have had the damage for that. Oh, Sam H coming in for a little D ward. Alright. Bit of a hint for Fnatic there that there is a ward somewhere in this vicinity, but I don't know if they're really going to be able to kill it. This Pilot Eye Lesh was not as crazy as the Cuckoo Lesh that we saw the other day. TNC versus Clutch. But I mean, he is kind of, though I guess Cuckoo is technically the hard fight for his team as well, but it doesn't often feel like it. How did TNC get this next round of ganks? Well, more smokes, I suppose. 20 seconds until daytime, but they do have a darkness. Fnatic just playing together. Not really risking anything. That is going to let the net worth continue to drift in TNC's favor, though. The less split up they are. Oh. I mean, if he uses Void, he just TPs out, so Salmon just has to keep on hitting him until he's low enough to the point that he can finish the kill. Darkness gonna get popped. Pi is juking him out though, and there's actually a real fight happening over in the river, so let's have a look at that. Timbersaw in some trouble. The Chain Summon's there. They've also got the Death Ward. The Maledict might be enough to finish him off. The regen. Okay, Pi finally brought down. No, looks like Abed's gonna be okay. One more tick won't be enough to kill him. Did get up to the full stacks of reactive armor. DJ came down here to try and help out. And Sam H has just gone for a hood. Gonna risk pushing at top lane in the meantime. Gonna be going straight to Crimson Guard. Not really that much incentive to get a pipe this game in. TNC, alright, they're into the pit. Still quite a lot of Metamorphosis duration on this one and the Dragon Form. Both up for a bit. Fnatic are scanning this, and they're also gonna send the Siege Creep in here, but what can they really do? Envy coming over. Is he going to try for the steal? They're going to try and terrorize them outside the pit. Envy goes in with the waveform. They steal the Roshan and they steal the Aegis. Fnatic, the huge play out of DJ. TNC, they're still in fighting shape. So Raven gets the Sundered out. Eternal Envy focuses on Cuckoo, brings him down. They're chasing forward. They're going to look to bring down Abed. If they could put a dent in this Bloodstone, that would be pretty big. He does get forced to suicide in the end, but he instantly respawns. And Fnatic, oh man. I'd never imagined that that would go so well. They got the last hit and they got the Aegis. That just bought them at least 5 minutes instantly. And then they're also going to grab themselves a tier 1 tower afterwards. This is going to open up the map a bit. Well, TNC don't want to give it to them. Carmel with the Shadow Blade goes running forward. They're going to try for Universe first, but he's pretty tanky. Can he get the Dark Rift out? No, he's just being stunned, slept, controlled, finished off by the Death Ward. The tier 1 tower does still stand. So Abed just going to be forced to head over down towards bottom, working on his Yule Scepter at the moment. Envy getting run out a little bit by Sam H, but not a kill that he can really grab. Okay, so that really puts TNC's game plan sort of a few steps back. They still have good farm on the TB. He's still going to have a decent BKB timing. Armel is going for the Silver Edge here. It's going to certainly make killing the Underlord and killing off the Timbersaw that little bit easier, but it will also end up delaying his BKB, so he needs to be careful he doesn't get bursted. Envy with a double damage and full Agimorphed is keen to do something down here, but Tim's not really exposing himself, just stomping the wave to slow things down. There are TB illusions pushing up top a little bit, but that's no problem for Universe to just Firestorm the wave back. Tim's gonna Yules himself up. Envy should only take a couple more swipes to finish this kill. The stun does no damage, and Abed now chasing into the base to try and finish this, but he won't get it either. And while this distraction is happening, TNC are actually just taking the mid tier 2. Gonna end up being tier 2 for tier 2 overall. And Fnatic do manage to push them back. Abed chasing forward, but without his Yules, he doesn't really have any lockdown. Armel thinking about doing something with the Shadow Blade here, and Samage comes running back over. They interrupt the Timber Chain. Abed in some trouble to terrorize. Might be enough to save them. DJ thinks about it, but it's actually a little bit too late potentially. Abed still tanking through. They're going to try and get out of here with the Dark Rift, and looks like Fnatic will be able to escape. Raven popped the Metamorphosis in the midst of all of that. Quite low on mana, and they will give up on this tier 2 push, it looks like. Bottom lane getting pressured in, but Tim's at least able to stall that. Envy wants to make the stun. Yes, they can. Nice and easy. Set up by Pylai. I don't think he was expecting to have the Morphlinkum waveforming in from the north side, and down goes Tim's. Envy at least has his Lincoln Sphere up now.
I'll take that.
So Ethereal Blade probably next on the shopping list. And Fnatic, it's shove lanes, shove lanes, shove lanes. And so you just have to continue hoping that they can find these pickoffs and make some plays happen. Sam H, is he just going to be going for a pipe? Got a 1300 gold on top of the hood. DJ farming some ancients. He gets rooted. Armel runs up the high ground, sees him, stuns him, and then also takes the ancient last hit. Oh man, that was not fun. There isn't even any real way of knowing whether or not there was a ward there. That was just a little bit brave to be trying to kill off those prowlers. Okay, TNC still holding onto a kill lead, but not a very big net worth lead anymore. Envy with the Lincoln Sphere able to start split pushing a little bit more aggressively. And TNC, I still worry that they're starting to run out of steam somewhat. Armel's Silver Edge should hopefully help find them some kills. He runs into the Sentry Ward here. Pi spots him, but he's already being dragon-tailed up. Is the Terrorize going to save him? No, the Breathe Fire finishes him at the last moment. Cuckoo even making sure to sidestep that. He could have popped down the Death Ward if they needed it. Tims is chasing with the Spirit. Stomp's not going to be there. And Ahmed even taking a moment here to grab a little bit more farm on the retreat. Every little bit of efficiency mattering a lot at this point. He does have his Yules completed now, and going to be going for a Lotus Orb shortly after that. You can see once again setting their sights on this mid tower. 20 seconds to go on the Metamorphosis. They've got nighttime for another 2 minutes as Sam H is stalking around on this high ground, keeping tabs on the movements from Fnatic. The vision game, similar to the first, really good for TNC. The Aegis is going to end up being reclaimed. This is a nicely timed push for TNC. They get the break over onto the Timbersaw. Can they break him down? He's Crimson Guard. He does actually manage to get the Yules off, dodging that Earth, or dodging the not Primal Split. Cuckoo's going to get right click down. Looks like DJ with that Shadow Realm hit doesn't miss uphill, does manage to grab the kill. Armel is locked inside of the pit. Being slowed down by the lightning, still on the run. TNC, it's a bit of a split fight, and they couldn't burst down the Timbersaw. What's his ability? Earth Splitter? Split Earth. Earth Splitter. Alright. And then we had Primal Split last game. But that is super bad news that TNC get repelled on that push. They popped the Terrorblade's BKB for that. Raven, I think, was still a couple of seconds away from having the Metamorphosis up, but their ability to take these 5-on-5 team fights, especially with the Night Stalker, is only going to get worse as the game goes on. So we'll see where they manage to go from here. Envy already has his Ghost Scepter up, 1300 gold towards the Eagle Song. And alright, TNC with another smoke. This is a little bit unexpected, perhaps, while the Dragon Form is on cooldown. They do go running forward. Pi, did he see this Observer Ward getting planted? Maybe now they're going to spot DJ. They stun him. All 5 heroes are here. Metamorphosis instantly getting popped. TNC going to be looking for him where they even get the sleep onto Universe. The +1 kill is there, and TNC, since their opportunity, are going to be able to grab the tower and then maybe force a little bit more. Roshan's still dead for at least another minute and 20 seconds, so that objective is not available to them. But without the Firestorm, this defense is pretty much impossible for Fnatic. They do have a glyph, but that's more than likely going to end up being used for the high ground instead. Only 30 seconds to go on the Underlord. Where is the Timbersaw? He is already waiting up on the high ground to spam back in defense. SamH is the first one into the breach. High will not get stopped. They're working on the tier 3. Now the glyph coming out. Envy's working on the tier 1 at top, and he grabs it. Abed slowing things down the best that he can with the Chakram, and they've still got the Lightning Storm spam going. The difficult high ground to take, and TNC with the Underlord respawning are just going to back themselves out. Cuckoo going to try for the TP, but he's going to get punished, and looks like he will also end up being dewarded. So completely unsuccessful mission from him. Tier 3 not even... tier 3 taking what? 600 damage? Solid, but I don't know if TNC are all that happy with the last couple of minutes. And I don't even know if Fnatic are going to go and do anything aggressive. I think they just keep farming. Keep grabbing items. They can sort of deal with the Underlord in the later stages of the... not the Underlord, with the Terrorblade in the later stages of the game, since they do have the Underlord. And I could also potentially see a clutch Lotus Reflect from Abed or something along those lines. They do need to be really careful about the Lotus plus Linken's. Do not want to cast the Lotus Orb on Envy if he has his Linken Sphere off cooldown and then have him get sundered, because then it's just the same as getting sundered. Anti-Mage Ags buyers know the pain of that. I think you buy Anti-Mage Ags against Terrorblade once, and then you're like, wait a second. Pi still just pushing waves on the Slash. Pretty nice to have a position, kind of unusual to have a position 5 here that's able to push waves, but Fnatic using it pretty nicely. Pi just going for the TP out. Worth it for Raven to put some damage on him there, just in case he's TPing to a shrine or something, but Pi is TPing all the way back to the fountain. Ooh, Envy getting scouted, but I think he also sees Armel with that sentry. Just goes right over to farming. He is going to be going for a BKB now that the shotgun is finished. DJ with the Yule Scepter first. Thinking about a blink, but it's going to take him a little while to farm, and all 3 of his cores are farming heroes, so there's not actually that many scraps left on the map for him. The Universe just going to be grabbing a Force Staff. Certainly nice to have. TNC are such a single target lineup that if they go on somebody and then they get double Force Staffs away, that could be an utter disaster for their team fight. They have to lock down one person and they have to kill him right at the start of the fight. That's kind of the MO for them here. SamH has just ended up going back for Spirit Vessel. Definitely a nice item to have against the Morph, but he doesn't have any charges, unfortunately. DK almost has his BKB. This is certainly the strongest timing for TNC. Level 18 on the Dragon Knight, plus his BKB. Terrorblade going to be having the level 18 before too long as well, and his Scotty. So this is what TNC are really banking on. And it's all going to come down to whether or not Fnatic are able to hold in that next couple of minutes. Pi is still just working on a Veil. DJ not the one to buy it, but we'll still be able to benefit from it. And that's where these BKBs are going to be so damn important. Tim's also just going for a Force Staff of his own. Everybody kind of playing grouped up. It's not a big farming game. Fnatic are somewhat afraid of the pickoffs, and I don't think TNC really have that much to be worried about pickoff-wise, but they're super close to their items, so as soon as that courier comes flying out with that next round of items, they're probably going to try and make something happen. Roshan's respawned. Fnatic have scouted it. TNC have not scouted it just yet, but the Terrorblade Illusion is going to come over to the pit. So both teams are well aware of what the stakes are of this next engagement. Winner is going to get themselves an Aegis and a cheese. Certainly an important game as well. I mean, TNC 1 game up already in this best of 5 finals. It's going to be a test of endurance today for both of these two teams with pretty much back-to-back best of 5s. Scheduled starting time for... I don't actually know what the scheduled starting time for the ESL best of 5 is, but anyway, TNC, they've got those items delivered. BKB plus Scotty, straight into a smoke. They're rushing out. Fnatic playing together. They are getting scouted by this Radiant Observer Ward, so TNC are going to make a beeline for them. SamH is leading the way. They're scanning up on the high ground, trying to figure out if anybody's up there. DJ and Pi still sitting on this ward, and TNC take the high ground successfully. They'll be able to push them away from the shrine. Sam H sees DJ down in the low ground, flaps down, doesn't get the silence off first. They jump onto Pi. They're also managing to lock down DJ. He's slept, comes out of the Shadow Realm, and I don't think he's going to be able to... Maybe he's going to try for the Terrorize potentially, but all right, down he goes. TNC with those 2 pickoffs. Head over towards the Roshan pit. Envy with a double damage is in position to threaten bottom somewhat. Hard to do this against Tims, and he gets slept. There's the Earth Splitter. They've got the TP coming in from the Night Stalker. Envy, this is trouble. He gets his Lincoln Sphere pop. He's not actually able to morph too much with the Spirit Vessel on him. At least he's got the shotgun to prevent the auto attacks from Sam H. Yules from Tim's not going to really end up doing anything. Abed playing around with the rest of TNC over at the pit. Raven and Armel taking a little bit of damage, but he needs to be careful now. He doesn't actually manage to Lotus the Sunder successfully, getting pushed away a little bit. The Maledict still doing big damage. He's trapped up on the cliff. Looks like he should be okay. They've got the shrine ready, but... And they also managed to get the Roshan last hit a second time. I don't know how he managed that, but okay. Raven still walks away with the Aegis and Cheese, so TNC got what they wanted. They do have a little window here where their Dragon Form and the Metamorphosis are both going to be down. I don't know if Fnatic are really going to be able to use that, though. I think instead they're just going to focus on farming up the NVBKB. Universe is now going for a mech. Any little thing that he can do to help out his team here. I don't know if another Lotus Orb would probably be pretty good, but I guess Envy and Abed both have ways to dispel themselves, so he could just get the mech and then go back for some Guardian Greaves. And yeah, he's already got the full Greaves pretty much teed up. I think we just can't see that last recipe. He saw how scary that Spirit Vessel was for Envy. He's like, wait, it's pretty scary for me as well. Especially with the 20 HP regen talent and whatnot. So may as well get some Guardian Greaves. Be able to dispel that. TNC, even before the cooldowns are back up, are coming in and threatening this bottom tower. They've done a pretty good job of getting these lanes pushed out. Even with Fnatic's best efforts to keep on split pushing and ratting, Envy morphed all the way into Agi. I don't know if he's just leaving the morph on as like a reminder to himself, like, all right, yes, I am morphed all the way to agility. Remember that, and remember to press strength morph if anybody goes on me. TNC up onto the high ground. They are going to end up losing their tier 2. Sam H threatening. Abed's back. Universe also here to clear out the wave. Not easy for TNC to push. Sam H, they're TPing back. That was not a very safe... I don't think those were very safe TPs. But Fnatic's initiation is also not great. I mean, DJ basically just has to... The best that they've got is like a Timber Chain into a Yules, and that's about it for initiation. At least until they get a blink on the Dark Willow, at which point their options open up a little bit more. Raven thinking about a Daedalus. Abed pushing forwards, sees that all these camps are empty, so just gonna head to the Greek Wave. Cuckoo has himself a Glimmer Cape. And at this point, Fnatic playing together and just trying to wait out the Aegis, it looks like. TNC. I still have some vision over here at the Tri-Camp area. They know that there's some Fnatic heroes in the neighborhood. Envy wave forming away. Armel leading the charge with the Silver Edge. It is about to fade, and he will shortly after be revealed by this Observer Ward. Also a sentry over here, but this time around, TNC not in such a good position lanes-wise. Envy's already got bottom lane pushed all the way out, and looks like top lane is going to end up pushing in the Dire's favor. So if Fnatic can just hold here, that will buy them another couple of minutes as TNC are forced back to reset the lanes. But they're not interested in the lanes. They're just interested in this tier 3. They pop the Metamorphosis, they pop the Dragon Form, and now they head up onto the high ground. The Glyph does get forced out. DJ's TPing into the back lines. He spotted out the Witch Doctor. Should just be able to solo kill him with the Bedlam Cuckoo. He got the Glimmer Cape off. It soaks a lot of the damage. DJ can't quite finish him. He's going to throw the Terrorize now, catches it onto 3, but he dies to the Breathe Fire. TNC heading back. Envy doing some damage to their tier 3. And Fnatic showing what their game plan is at this point. Continuing to spam the high ground and letting Envy do his thing. Their tier 3 is almost dead, but not quite, and they've now successfully waited out the ultimates. Well, the ultimate and... Oh, come on, Metamorphosis is based on the element. Let's face it. So, they've almost waited out these 2 transformations. And I don't even... How are they even going to go out after that? Are Fnatic just committed to... Alright, we're just going to rat this game. Why not? Age is still up for 1 more minute on the TB. Raven's going to be going for a Butterfly relatively soon. Abed just working on his Shivas. Universe does still have his Guardian Greaves queued up. He doesn't have it just yet. And now Abed running straight into a little bit of trouble. Cuckoo and Tim spotted, but they don't have any of their cores here. So who's actually caught who? Nice force step forward. Protects Cuckoo from a little bit more damage. Armel thinking about engaging into this fight, but again, with those transformation abilities down, this is difficult to do. He gets the Dragon Tail out. Can they force step high? He gets force step forward, but it's still straight into that Earth Splitter. Armel forced to pop the BKB a little bit late. Envy trying to shotgun him down. Armel still chasing out to get the Dragon Tail onto Universe. He won't be able to escape even without the transformations. The TNC cores are too strong. They charge through with their BKBs. With the Underlord dead, it is going to be difficult for Fnatic to defend their high ground. He does have a buyback, and they do at the very least still have Abed alive. Already level 24 on the Timbersaw. He has just been farming creeps this entire game. 302 CS to his name. And he is going to come and cut top as TNC are looking for something down here at bottom. Mid lane getting pressured. 30 seconds to go on Metamorphosis, and Dragon Form is available. No glyph for the Dire. So Fnatic looking like they should lose at least the tier 3 and potentially the full lane of Rax. They don't really have a defense here. Abed even coming back a little bit late. The Terrorize threatened by DJ, but looks like they've just accepted the fact that they are going to lose the lane of Rax. They know that these BKBs are on cooldown though, so Armel still has to be careful. He does have the cheese. He's going to get hit by the Cursed Crown. The damage from Abed is big, and looks like they should be able to burst the Dragon, and he gets the cheese off at the last moment. He's still on the run. Raven thinking about trying to help him. He does have the Sunder potentially to save him, but he needs to be careful about using it. Instead, he's just going to pop his Metamorphosis and now look to turn and fight. 5 seconds to go on his BKB, but Envy is actually pushing bottom. They've killed off Cuckoo already. He's now getting driven back by Sam H, but there's actually a Dark Rift now coming. All of Fnatic arriving on the bottom side of the map. Buyback out of the Witch Doctor. Does everybody have a TP ready? They're focusing on Sam H first. Raven still has the Metamorphosis. He's going to slice through Pylite Die. He's not dead just yet. Envy pops his BKB. He's running backwards. DJ now being focused. Fnatic, was this the right decision? They forced a bunch of buybacks. If they can just disengage, this would be all right. Universal, he's not going to get away from the Scotty. Abe going to keep on fighting. Raven's godlike. He's beyond godlike as he finds the triple. And Fnatic have lost 3 so far. The mid wave needs to be shoved out by Envy. Abed actually ends up missing the Timber Chain. We'll get another opportunity with that Yule Scepter. Now getting sundered up. Still full HP. Nicely done with the Lotus. Gets out of the silence, and it looks like Abed. Alright, he will end up escaping at the end of the day. TNC, they have to get a little bit more out for the value of these buybacks. They did end up losing their tier 3. So the shrines are going to be gone in just a little bit. They gotta go. They bought back on the Dragon Knight. They bought back on the Night Stalker. That's 2 really big core buybacks. Raven's BKB still down for a little bit. The melee barracks is at least dead. So what else can they get? Are they just going to take the shrines? Roshan still down for at least 55 seconds. Alright. This is getting tense. Abed's going to be going for a Hex. Universe. Thinking about those Guardian Greaves still. What did he buy in... Okay, he's just bought the Bucklers so far. Hasn't really farmed too much in the last couple of minutes. Pretty much just Envy and Abed continue to scoop up the farm. They're running over towards mid now. They get the Dragon Tail onto Abed. They've already lost the Witch Doctor. He got shotgunned down, and they're saving Abed with the Terrorized. Raven pops the BKB before he just runs for it. He doesn't have the Metamorphosis. Armel's trapped inside of the pit. He does pop off the BKB. He's looking for the kill on Envy, but the more strength is enough. Abed jumping a long way forward with the Timber Chain. He's kind of in the back lines now, still getting stunned up, and will be finished off dead. 55 seconds. That was a Timber Chain too far. Fnatic weren't able to follow it up with him, and now the Earth Player is going to connect on the Universe. He's going to try for the Dark Rift out, but it's just way too much damage. Tim standing right on top of him with the Aura. Pi is also going to end up dying. Oh man, Abed wanted those kills, but he wanted them a little bit too badly, and now they don't have the Timber. They don't have the Underlord. 40 seconds, 33 seconds. Metamorphosis back up in 3. TNC, this could be multiple lanes of Rax at this stage. DJ sensing a little bit of danger is just going to push out this bottom wave, try and buy them as much time as he possibly can, but backdoor protection is already disabled by the mid wave. TNC going to work very, very quickly. Envy, no real rat opportunities. All of the waves are pushed up pretty far, so he can't get over to the Radiant base. And TNC looks like they're going to get the first lane of Rax completely uncontested. Envy's just buying whatever he can. Picks up the SNY, does not have buyback as a result. Rax number 2 down. Abed, half-hearted Timber Chain to get back out into position, but as Fnatic respawn, they're going to find themselves in a very precarious situation. And Roshan just about to respawn. Cuckoo's going to spot it, maybe? Oh, no. No, that's the first timer This is what we're looking at. 1 minute to go on Roche. There's a DD over here. Okay, gonna give that over. Oh, maybe just camp it for a little bit. They can still leave it there for another minute and 20 seconds. Alright, yeah. TNC are in full defend Roshan mode. They've even got a bottle. Okay. They bottle up that DD. I didn't even see Cuckoo buy a bottle this game, but there you go. There you go. That could be a very big deal. If Raven manages to line up the Metamorphosis with the DD, I don't know how Fnatic are going to find the Morphling seems strong, but all we've really seen Envy manage to do so far in these fights is shotgun down one of the supports and then immediately be forced into sitting there morphing strength pretty much the entire fight. He is going to come and threaten TNC a little bit at bottom, but he's pushing through Rax creep, so it takes him a little bit longer. And TNC should be able to defend that just by sending back their Elder Titan. Tims has grabbed a gem. I don't know if we have a gem picked up just yet on the Fnatic side. No, we do not. So map control potentially in favor of TNC if they do manage to get a couple of D wards. Fnatic just sitting on top of their Observer Ward for now, as they are going to let Envy push out mid. Raven's got that butterfly up, sitting on 6k gold, so a comfortable buyback available for him. Definitely very important to have at this stage. He gets shotgunned down by the Morphling, buyback straight back into the game, take the fight from there. Oh, and wait. We got one double damage on the TNC side. We've got a double damage also bottled for the Fnatic side. I don't know if I've ever seen this before, but it's 40 minutes, so we can get the double rune spawns. And we can get the consecutive rune spawns as well. Oh, Envy pops the DD. He's inside of the pit. Actually, the real fight's happening over on the other side. They managed to break up Universe. They've got the Dragon Tail onto him. They're focusing. It looks like Envy's just going to go for the Roshan in the meantime, though. Universe is the distraction. Roshan's not dead just yet. Envy, a few more auto attacks is all it's going to take. Aegis Cheese and Refresher Short on the deck. TNC can't quite get over there in time. There's items on the ground. Soul Ring just going to be left behind as Sam H is chasing, looking for more. Flies up over the cliff, but he's a little bit faster than his team, so does need to be careful about how much further he chases. Pilot Eye gets into the base, and that should be the end of this. TNC, though, backdoor protection about to be disabled through the mid lane, and they're just on the high ground. Raven's got that double damage of his own. Pilot Eye going to do his best to defend. Fnatic all in the front lines, buyback. Universe realizing that this is the most important fight of this entire game. Abed taking some damage. That's getting popped by DJ. They're trying to keep eyes onto Armel. They will be able to get him with that Curse Crown, forcing him to back up, wasting another couple of seconds of the Dragon form. Raven still has about half the Metamorphosis, but being very cautious about how they play here. Envy's got the Aegis, Abed has the Cheese, and the Refresher Shard is on DJ. Alright, double Terrorize could be pretty darn scary at this point of the game. And TNC realizing that they don't have to force it, they are just going to back themselves up, deal with the top lane. Fnatic still have to be dealing with all these Rax waves all the while. This game is getting really interesting. It does feel like TNC are kind of in control, but Fnatic still making these sneaky little plays, still getting some more farm on their Morphling. Once they get the Hex on the Timbersaw, I think that's going to be a pretty big deal as well. TNC do have some save. They got a Force Staff, a Glimmer Cape. Nightstalker has an Aeon Disc for instance. Okay. Sam H very much committing to the sort of the walking ward life. Being able to run forward and just scout for your team without having to be worried is pretty important in this game. DK's got an AC, goes for the 2x Dragon's Blood HP regen / armor, and Armel's looking for a heart shortly after that, so he is going to be he's going to be pretty much impervious to the shotgun. They're actually going to have to sit there and work him down. Firestorm going to be really important. And Raven has opted for an Orchid. Almost level 25 as well. Gonna get that insane Sunder cooldown, more than likely. Still haven't really seen the Terrorblade go to work in the last couple of fights. I mean, he got that triple kill down here at bottom when Fnatic Dark Rifted in and tried to take the... Well, they got the tier 3, but tried to take that fight. But other than that, they have been kiting him a little bit. Fnatic not really taking the head-on engagement. little bit more farm for Envy, but still 4k behind the Terrorblade at this stage. We also haven't really seen the morph, not morph the hero, but morph the ultimate be all that useful this game. You know, maybe get the successful Terrorblade morph, pop the Metamorphosis. Maybe Envy can start doing some pretty big damage in these fights, because he's actually struggled to just sort of stand and deliver and actually do the damage. He's even got a couple of salves in his backpack. TNC still just farming. Double Orchid is the plan, it looks like. Anything to keep the Timber locked down, anything to keep the Underlord locked down, and anything to keep the Morphling locked down especially, and the two supports. They could kill off DJ without him casting any spells. That would be a very big deal. And he's only got 1.1k HP. This hero is slippery, but as soon as you get that first stun. Now TNC smoked up, running forward. Same play that we saw them attempting in the previous game. Hoping to catch whoever is defending, maybe just a little bit outside of the base. Smoking over towards top. Highlight Eye is out of the base at the moment. Sam H gonna go running forward onto him. Universe does it. The force step gets him a little bit further up, but Sam H is diving straight into the base. Armal's already there. Raven's beyond godlike. He's inside. He's looking towards the racks. Universe is just getting chewed up. It's a double damage Terrorblade. Envy's trying to man fight him, but he already loses the age. Just the Terrorize pushes them back. Abed jumping after Sam H. He's still pretty tanky. Looks like he will be brought down. Eternal Envy back to the world of the living. Looks to focus onto Cuckoo. Raven actually now forced to turn tail and run, as it looks like TNC have just decided to disengage this, but it's only for a little bit. They're focusing into Abed. They got the Hex onto Raven. He needs to live to do the damage. The Terrorize doesn't clip him. That's Terrorize number 2. So they still have the cheese left. It looks like they do. Abed gonna keep on fighting, and now Raven's the one in some trouble. He's already used the Sunder, and he's gonna be brought down, getting nuked by the Morphling. Armel looks like he does manage to escape the base under attack by creep, so it's going to take Fnatic a little bit longer just to clear that out and be able to get back out to keep on fighting. They did not use any buybacks. Oh, they did use the Pylite buyback for that. Sorry. But still, how far can they actually get out on the map? Can they actually force anything is the question. DJ's hunting for a solo kill. Well, I mean, there's only the Dragon Knight on the map, but they could kill off Armel. That'd be a pretty big deal. Armel spots Pi. Does he have the damage to finish him off here? Envy's gonna come TPing in, and Armel just immediately pops the BKB TP out. Okay, not gonna risk anything at this stage. That's a fairly long duration BKB to be using at this point. Cuckoo getting dove on by Abed. The Limitake's gonna wear out. He's still got the Hex. Straight to the Brambles. Cuckoo looking like he's just gonna end up as a Bloodstone charge for Abed here. Terrorblade's still hanging on to that buyback. They also have Glyph on the TNC side, so they should be able to get their TB to respawn naturally. Envy's still hitting these buildings pretty quickly, though, and he's actually focusing towards bottom. Sam H realizing this is going to go over there, but the rest of Fnatic looking to punish him. Raven is not willing to buy back with only 10 seconds remaining, and they actually get the Hex out of the Dragon Knight. They're focusing onto Armel. They know that he doesn't have the BKB. They have to get him out of here if they can. He does actually have a buyback, but he's brought down, and that means no Dragon form. Envy's focusing onto the Abed keeping Tims away will prevent the Echo Stomp. Envy still needing to be careful. Spirit Vessel spam is real. He's down to half HP. Sandwich, does he have any charges left? He's actually out of Spirit Vessel charges at this point. TNC, they do have that buyback. They're going to use it now. Can they find some kind of initiation? Universe is ready with the Dark Rift. They're just going to bail everybody out. It's a 5-man sleep. Along with the Reflection, the melee barrack is extremely low, but not dead just yet. And Fnatic have actually lost one of their tier 4s in the interim. They're going to take the net worth lead for almost the first time this game. They were ahead on experience for a long while, actually, only just getting it back on their side now. But TNC, that is a very important buyback to be forced out. And Raven not even going to bother hanging on to the buyback now, just going to straight up grab the Bloodthorn. Next round of runes coming up soon. Let's have a look at that. Both teams just look at this. DJ is like, where's this double damage? TNC see it. It's gonna be TNC grabbing the DD. Envy wants it. Needs to be careful not to get baited. He really wants it, but is he gonna get stunned? He's broken. The link is being popped. He's silenced. Envy's in trouble. He gets the BKB off, and looks like he will be okay. Armel unfortunately wasn't able to bottle that double damage or anything, so not gonna end up being as useful as the previous one was. TNC coming in here to look and force something. Highlight Eye's gonna get this mid wave pushed out, though. And they do have the BOTs available for both the Morphling... Oh, no, not the Morphling and the Timbersaw. Timbersaw just has brown boots. Not even that. They're in his backpack at the moment. TNC, you gotta get this D-ward on the high ground. Do they even have the gem anymore? They do. It's still in the hands of Sam H. Cuckoo jumping forward. Envy, waveform forward, waveform back. He's got the 2 charges. So he's gonna be okay. TNC running in. Looking towards Abed. He's going to get stunned. He's going to get bloodthirst. It looks like he's going to be brought down. They tried to save him with the shotgun. He will buy back immediately. They got the silence on the Envy. They're looking for the Mega Creeps. TNC just going for the jugular. That is the BKB already popped for the Dragonite. Armel needs to be careful from this point forward. Abed chasing in. The Raven's looking towards him. The damage is big. He will be able to use himself. Universe trying to run forward. At least get that aura down. Sam H is stunned on the other side of the fight. Envy hasn't really been able to stand still and do any damage just yet. As TNC is still moving together as a group. They get to sleep on Envy. They silenced him. They bloodthorned him, but now he's dead. He does have a buyback. Raven's BKB being used. It's not Mega Creeps just yet as the range Drax still stands inside of the Dire base. But Fnatic now have to go and... Oh, can they go and do something? They have to, but... And Roshan's going to be up in 15 seconds. Envy teleporting in at mid. He's got a BKB and 1 more waveform charge, but he needs to be careful. The rest of his team not too far behind him. Fnatic looking to force this right here, right now. There are a few Radiant buybacks available. Neither team scouting the Roche just yet. Fnatic going to go for the smoke. Are they just going for end? Can Terrorblade buy a refresher orb? Raven actually could, potentially. Oh, they go for Armel. His BKB is still on cooldown for a little bit. He would be a big kill. They're going to force step him back defensively. Sam H. They get the silence over onto Envy. The Bloodthorn is actually doing big damage to him. Crimson Guard can help keep him alive. He's also morphing some strength. Abed getting locked down will be able to pull off the Yule's trick and get himself out of there. These are heroes that do not have buyback. Fnatic are playing with fire at this point. That 1 lane of Rack's not really going to matter. It's all about the Roche. It's all about this upcoming fight. Highlight die. Alright, some more bounty runes. Sure, Sam H going to spot that the Roshan is up. And this could just be the nail in the coffin if Fnatic aren't able to defend this. What can they even do? Roshan dropping quick. Fnatic still in the base. Pi still at bottom. Yeah, that mid push feeling really, I don't know, really meaningless. Like this melee barracks does not mean anything at this point of the game. We're 51 minutes in, and TNC 24 seconds to go on their metamorphosis. Aegis is on the Dragon Knight. Armel doesn't have a buyback, so I guess that's the big reason to do that. Where did the cheese end up? Probably on Sam H? Yeah, it's in Sam H's backpack. And Raven probably going to BKB, sub it out for the refresher shard. Have that double BKB ready to go. He did actually go for the attack range this game. Not opting for the Thunder cooldown. They look for the C Universe. He does manage to get the 4 staff away. TNC focusing onto the tier 4s, but over in the base, Fnatic are going to be looking for tier 4s of their own. I don't think it's going to be fast enough. Tims will be going back to defend. Highlight Die and Envy realizing that this is their only opportunity, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The Dire Ancient is falling quickly. They're trying to slow them down. They pop the glyph. Fnatic on the other side finally managed to make it to the tier 4s. Tims trying to stop them. Cuckoo also trying to slow them down. Armel, they're actually managing to control Raven. They're slowing down his damage a little bit. Universe, can they stop him? All right, now it's definitely TNC. Fnatic rats until the very end, but couldn't take the fight anymore against TNC.